In the UK, voters go to the polls after just 38 days of campaigning. In the US, elections are measured in years. 8 candidates for president are already in the race for next year's elections. In the UK, party leaders debated 4 times. In 2008, the last US presidential race without an incumbent, candidates squared off against one another 50 times. British campaigns have strict spending caps. Candidates for parliament are sometimes limited to just 9 pence per voter. Parties are restricted to a total of £19.5 million, about $30 million, for the entire election cycle. In the U.S., candidates and parties may use all the money they raise. A whopping $6.2 billion was spent during the 2012 election cycle. It's that massive need for money that drives the never-ending, media-driven culture of U.S. elections. Bob Franken has covered U.S. politics for more than 30 years.
Everybody says, yes, I'm against all the money in the political system, but I'm not going to unilaterally disarm.
So the arms race for money continues as candidates constantly raise funds.
The reality is that the moment one campaign is over, another one begins. In fact, probably before it's over.
And now groups independent from campaigns or political parties wield increasing power in the U.S. In 2010, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a ruling that allowed for the creation of so-called super PACs. These groups can't coordinate with campaigns or political parties, but they can raise unlimited amounts of money from corporations, labor unions, and individuals. They typically use this money for attack ads. In the UK, outside groups face strict limits on spending.
We do a lot of research around both the president.
Drew Spencer is an attorney with Fair Vote, a U.S. group that pushes for campaign reform. Since the courts have ruled against limiting the supply of money, he says the best approach may be to limit the need for money.
One thing we can learn from the British is that you can get an even bigger impact by limiting the demand for money. So if you have something like a shorter campaign period, that's not a regulation of money in politics per se, but obviously you need to spend less money when there's a shorter campaign period.
I am a candidate for president
of the United States. As the UK decides, the U.S. is just getting started. Jim Spellman, CCTV, Washington.